Hello, it's Walter at Champions Way again. Today I'm going to show you how to add pages to the main navigation bar and also how to create hidden pages, meaning pages that are not on the navigation but can be accessed through either hyperlinks or buttons that hyperlink to new pages. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up my web page. So let me open up my browser that I got here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my website. So two ways to do this. You could go through live.perfectmind.com or you can go through your unique URL that we give you. So mine is website2.perfectmind.com or you can go to live.perfectmind.com. Either way will get you a login screen. From there you can just log in. So I'm going to go ahead and get logged in here. And I'm going to log in. All right, awesome. So I've got my initial to sign up. So as you can see right now, these buttons are not linking anywhere, meaning that if I click them, they basically just go right back to the home page. So what I'm going to do is I want to add pages. So when I click on one of these buttons, it will take me to the page. But now, on the same token, I don't want that page to be sitting in one of the tabs up here. So if we go to our app suites, very top right here, and I go to social site, this is my main navigation bar. So home, lounge, memberships, products, albums, book me, contact us. So now what I want to do is I want to add a new page, but I don't want that page to be sitting in this navigation. So what I mean is I'm going to create a page called Kids Programs, but I do not want that tab to show up on this particular navigation. I want it to be a hidden page, meaning that I can only get to the page if I click on the button. So what I'm going to do is let's go to your login name very top right and hover over it, and let's go to settings. From settings now, I'm going to go under the category called social site, and I'm going to go to pages. All right, so now here, these are my app suite. So if you can see, I've got 4: members area, money, office, social site. If you look at your very top right, you'll see the same 4 app suites: members area, money, social site, and if you chevron, you'll see office. All right, so the same 4 app suites. If I open one of these app suites, you'll see these are the pages associated with that app suite. Same here. If I click on members area, you're going to see now that I've got 2 pages there as well. So if I go back to my pages and I open up my members area, you'll see curriculum and schedule 1, which are the same 2 pages I have here. All right, so these correspond to their app suite. So what I'm going to do is I want to create a brand new app suite, and I'm going to call this app suite Hidden Pages. All right, so I'm going to call it website Hidden Pages. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that. Now, I'm only going to make this profile global, but if you want anybody else to view it, you could make it, so somebody can, edit your pages. You can check administrator or everyone. Member, public. You don't need to make these either member or public because you don't want them to access the actual app suite. You wanted them to be able to view the pages, is all, but not the app suite. So let's just put the global admin is all I want for myself. Now I've got my website hidden pages. Now what I want to do is I want to add a new page, but if I go and click on new page, it's going to create a blank page for me, which is not going to have any of the design that my website has. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the social site and I'm going to clone a page that already is designed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone the home page. And then I'm going to remove the title because this is what shows up in your browser. So I'm going to create a new page under website hidden pages. And I'm going to call this children's program. All right. And then the title, of course, can be also children's program. Now, this is good for Google because it's basically the title page is big for Google rankings and whatnot. So make sure that you do put a title for that unique page. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is let's go back to website hidden pages, and I'm going to go ahead and toggle it so I can open up my page. And now you can see that there is no toggle because there is no page yet, because if you remember, I cloned a home page, but it's still sitting under the social site app suite. So what I got to do is I got to drag this page into my proper app suite now, which is website hidden pages. And you can see now that that page now is sitting under website hidden pages, which is exactly what I wanted. So now what we're going to do is if I go back in and I'm going to refresh my page so I can get my app suite showing up now. So now if I toggle it, you'll see the chevron. I'll see now that I have a new app suite called Website Hidden Pages. So if I click on it, you're going to see now that children's program actually appears here. So I'm going to click on that page and I'm going to click my edit button, because what I want to do now is I want to be able to edit my content for this page. So first things first, I'm going to change the title of my page to recommend children's program. Now if you notice, whenever I go in to edit a content, I don't go in and wipe out all the content at once like this. Because what's going to happen if you do that and erase it, you won't be able to get any content back into that page. So what I do is I usually leave a couple words and I delete the rest. So now what I'm going to do is I don't want this up here either. So I'm going to dump that. And now what I'm going to do is from here, I can now basically start my typing, but without removing that. So our children programs is all right. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to remove this part because I don't need it anymore. Oops. And make sure when you highlight something that you're only highlighting what you want. If anything else highlight, you know you're in trouble. So I'm just going to go ahead and backspace that out of there, and there we go. All right, so now I can put my content in here. And of course, if you want to add an image in there, no problem. You put your cursor where you want the image to go. Then just go up to your image manager, which is the little sun with the mountain in front. Image manager, click on it. Now you're going to, you can choose an image that's already in your image manager. And if you don't have any in there, you need to upload button. And now you'll be able to select from your actual hard drive. So for instance, let's just pick that for now. And I'm going to go ahead and click upload. Now you will notice that it will preview that image in the right hand side of the page for you as soon as it loads. And here it comes. So here's the image preview. So now we've got two tabs, preview and properties. If I go to properties, the width and the height is shown at the very top. Now you can see that it's 1024 pixels, which is a pretty big image. That's too big for the website. So what you got to do is we got to bring that width down, but you want to do it proportionally. So when you bring the width down, the height will change automatically with it, so the picture does not distort. Make sure if you click on the little plug at the end here, it will join them together, meaning that proportionally they are constrained now to change. When you change one, the next one will change. So I'm going to change my width from 1024 to 524, and you're going to notice that my height will change automatically to keep the proportions constraint. So 524. So if you remember, the height was 700 something. Now it's 393. Awesome. Now if I want to put a border around that image, I can. So I'm going to do a red border, and now I'm going to put my border width. Let's say make it 2. You don't want it too heavy. Now the alt text is good because what it does, it basically it reads the image out for the viewing impaired. So if you put like penguins, if a blind person was looking at your website and they basically went to the image, it would basically tell them that, hey, this is a penguin image. So it's a good idea to have alt text in here, because it also, Google does rank high for this. If you leave them bare then or blank, Google does not, it reads the images as empty space. So if you alt text them, Google will be able to read them for the viewing impaired. Now the next one is your image alignment. This is basically you're telling the image where do you want it to go, left, right. So what I want to do is I want it to the right of my text, but now I also want my margin, so the text is not right on top of the image. I want to basically move it like maybe 10 pixels to the left of that image. So I'm going to go ahead and insert it now. And you're going to see now that my image has inserted itself to the right of the text, but because there's not that much texting, you can't really notice what I've done. But by there, if I start typing, you'll be able to see what happens here. So, and so the more text you add, the more text that you can fill in there. You can see that that space in between the text and the image is our margin that we set to 10 pixels to the left of that image. All right, so you get that. So here I can just keep adding more text and more text, and the same thing applies. More text, All right, so basically your but of course that image is massive. So if I right click on it again and go to properties, I'm going to basically put my constraint portions back on, and I'm going to take this image down to, let's do like half of that. I want to make it 224, and I'm going to go click OK. Now that's a little better. The image is much smaller. You can see your border around it is all good to go. So we've got our image in there, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this out. All right, so now we created our page for the kids program. All right, so we got our text in there, everything's ready to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click back on this children's program button. Now what you have to do is you have to copy the address of this button. Okay, so highlight it, right click and copy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my social site app suite. Now what I want to do is I'm going to click on home. And I'm going to click on edit. So now what I'm going to do is I want to hyperlink that image so it basically is clickable and takes me to the page. So if I click on the image and I go to my hyperlink manager, which is the little ball with the chain link in front, I can now place what I copied from the URL into this field here called URL. So I paste it in there. I'm going to click OK. Now if I save this, you're going to see now if I go back to this image and I click on it, it will take me now to the kids program image. Hey, check it out. That's how easy it is. So let's do one more. So what I'm going to do again is let's go back. This is our social site again, of course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our login, hover over it, go to settings, and I'm going to go back to pages now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to website hidden pages. I'm going to toggle it, and you're going to see my children's program page. I'm going to do is I'm going to clone that page. And now I'm going to call it my adults, or yeah, let's do an adults button. I think adults, what's the next one? So make sure that your title is also the same. So adults, oops. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save that. So now what I'm going to do is I want to basically be able to edit the content for that page. So I'm going to go back to my website hidden page app suite, and I'm going to go into the adult page, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the edit button. Once again, I'm going to go down to the actual content area that I want, and I'm going to change children's to adult. And remember, I always like to leave something in there so you don't just delete everything right from their adult program. Now again, of course, I can edit my content here. Our adult program is offered to ages 17 to 55 years of age, blah blah blah. And of course, if you want, we can put another image in here. And of course, if you wanted people to click on this image and get them to go somewhere else, you can. You can just click on the image and make sure you got the toggles all around it. Go to your hyperlink manager again and put the URL of where you want this image to take you to. So if I go to championsway.com, I can click OK. Now when I click on that image, it's going to take me to Champions Way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this. And what I'm going to do again is click on the adult button, because you're going to see that it's going to basically shorten my link up. So I'm going to copy my whole link again by right clicking on it and copy it. Now I'm going back to my social site app suite, and I'm at home page again. I'm going to click edit. So now what I want to do is I want to hyperlink the adult program button, which is this guy. So I'm going to click on it. Now I'm going to go back to my hyperlink manager, and I'm going to put my URL in here. I paste it in there, I click OK, now I save it. So now if we go back to our home page and I go to my adult button and I click it, you're going to notice that now it takes me to the adult page. Hooray! And now if I click on the penguins picture, you'll notice that it's going to take me to Champions Way. Pretty cool. You can also have it so when you click on the button, it takes you to the site, but on a new window. It doesn't basically delete your site from there. So what we can do is let's click on edit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the link, so when I click on penguin, a new window is going to open. So if you right click on it and you go to properties, you're going to see here that we've got all that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to go to my URL manager again. So here it is, championsway.com, but now my target is going to be add custom target. So if you click on that and then change that to blank, just like that, blank, click OK, OK again, and now save it. Now watch what's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and click on this penguin picture. Remember last time it basically took me to Champions Way, but your website was gone. You had to basically use the back button to get back to it. Now if I click on it, you're going to notice that it actually opens in a new tab. So my tab is still here, my website's still up, but it opens up in a new tab, which is kind of what you want to do. So remember, when you had an hyperlink to a secondary or a third-party page, make sure that you basically create a target and the target is blank, meaning that that link will open in a new window. Well, I hope that's helped you, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call and play around with the site. The only way to learn. Have a good day, guys. Thanks.